Hello, fellow couch potatoes. I am UD. We're talking about Better Call Saul again. I saw this video that was uploaded by Teflon TV, where he actually is taking a look at all of the scenes from the Gene timeline. And I thought it would be fun to react to this together, and maybe it could spark some ideas of what we think is going to happen next in Better Call Saul Season 6, Part 2. So before we get started, I'd love to remind you that this is a brand new channel. We need your love. So if you like anything in the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you think you vibe with me, so that we can have more people having fun together. So we have not seen anything of Gene so far. Maybe the closest thing to it is seeing Saul get all of his possessions repossessed, or whatever they're doing, sent to auction. But it's a good time to refresh and remember what was going on with Gene, and interesting to look back on it now that we've seen more of these events that certainly has shaped Jimmy, Saul, Gene's life and mindset.
Call Saul mid-season finale, well, I don't blame you, because it's hard to take in everything that we just seen.
I know,
Yet
right?
I believe they did give away a whole lot of evidence pointing to where this show is going to end up for Saul.
Oh, okay.
Or should I say Gene? What's happening in the Gene scenes? In this video, I will break down every Gene scene that they have shown us and tell you exactly what it means for the ending of this show. We will break down the phone call, the diamonds, the taxi driver, and the last one that we just got. We will call it the happy ending, for lack of a better term.
Oh, yes.
Does he live? Does he die? How does Kim come into play? They laid it all out for you, and I'm going to explain and tell you everything that you missed, so that you know exactly how it's going to end.
Should I play this at a little bit of a faster
What up
speed,
to my thugs, nerds,
or
freaks,
no?
and geeks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon. Do me a favor, please subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. Also, 500 is the like goal. If this video hits 500 likes, I will give a subscriber who leaves a comment on this video a $25 Amazon gift card.
Oh shit, you know what? Maybe we should do the same thing. Should we do the same thing? If we get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. But yes, let's do it. Let's do it. When we get to 100 subscribers, on the video I make celebrating 100 subscribers, we're going to do an Amazon gift card giveaway. Yes. So if you want to be a part of that, let's do it. That's fun. Yeah, we're going to do that. When we reach 100 subscribers, Amazon gift card. All right. Let's get back to this.
The winner of the last $25 Amazon gift card is Jasmine Duds. Thank you very much for subscribing and watching the video. Please contact me, Teflon TV, on Facebook so I can send it right to you. The first Gene scene we're focused on, I'll call the box. We see him with this box of important treasures to his past. Most importantly, the one that stands out the most is the Band-Aid box in the left-hand corner, and we'll get right back to that. Also inside this box is a VCR tape. So he grabs the VCR tape. We see him go to his VCR player. He puts the VCR tape in it, and what it is a commercial for his old life, for who he used to be. And that's what we see him in here that he's upset about. He's upset that he's not living the life that he used to live, and he's stuck in this life right here.
Boring life. And the thing that I've come to understand about Jimmy is he has to do this. Like, Kim is interesting in that she is able to refrain from slipping, like she redirects that energy. Kim is able to redirect the slipping energy, but Jimmy is not able to. Like he is not capable of redirecting the energy. And so I have ADHD and depression, and like there's certain things in life that if I'm not doing it, I'm depressed. Making videos is one of them. Okay. I don't know what it is about making online content, but that's one of the things. And if you told me I can never make another YouTube video again or whatever, I would be like him. I would just come home and just rewatch the glory days and just dreaming of what I wish I could do. So I'm sure he's incredibly depressed at this point.
Really not that's important. What it is what they play while he's watching that video that's important.
I'm Saul Goodman, attorney at law. I investigate, advocate, persuade, and most importantly, win. Cornered, better call.
The word you hear them stress is win. So he feels he did not win. Whatever happens to him is not the way he wanted it to happen. He feels that he lost this time, and he's upset with himself that he did not win because he's used to winning. Number 2, we'll call it the lockout. This is when we see him working for Cinnabon.
Is he used to winning? If we were talking about Kim Wexler, if we were talking about Kimmy, then I think Kim is not used to, I think Kim is used to winning. Jimmy, though, we have seen Jimmy fail so many times. We have seen Jimmy not win like so many times. I don't think he is. I think Kim is addicted to winning. I think Jimmy is just addicted to having the freedom to be slipping Jimmy.
And he gets locked out of the store by going outside and the door just closing on him. This clip is used to explain the first clip, why he feels like he did not win, why he's not a winner, because he's working for this shitty job in this shitty ass mall. But what we learn from this clip is he does have a way out if he wants it, but he chooses not to take it. Why? Because the sign says emergency use only. If you touch it, the cops will be called. So we know right here that he is on the lam from the police. He is.
I just want to point out something that I so appreciate about this show, and this is why I love Breaking Bad and this show. Like everything that happens feels real. Like if this were any other show, that notice would be like a perfectly cleaned piece of paper, like perfectly taped. But you can see this paper was kind of crumpled. It looks like, wear and tear over time, the tape, and yeah, it's been ripped a little bit. The only other thing that maybe they could have done is like put some smudges, like a fingerprint or two. I don't know. I even like how the door has some kind of like old tape on the right, like some old tape, like something else used to be taped there. I just love how real they make this show. Like they think about these small details of life, and even in the camera work, you'll see like there's a lot of macro shots, like really looking at like this object like in close detail. And I just really appreciate the people who make these shows, their attention to the detail. I just had to share that.
Escape the police. They're the ones who are after him, and that's why he's willing to sit there so that they will not be notified. But when he leaves and you see his coworker opens up the door, you see that he puts inside there SG was here, meaning that he doesn't even want to go back to his original life, his real life. He wants to go back to the time when he was Saul Goodman.
Well, of course.
That's who.
It also it's not just that he wants to go back, it's that he still identifies as Saul Goodman. So like that He is still Saul Goodman. He just has a different mask. He just has to wear this jean mask, but inside he's still Saul Goodman. Meaning, and I remember when I saw this scene, I felt like, uh-oh, he's going to get himself in trouble. Like, I just felt like it means the Saul Goodman in him, the Slippin' Jimmy, has to come out. It just has to. And it will. Like, I mean, all signs are pointing to it happening. We just don't know when or how yet.
Who he identifies as, not who he truly is. Number 3, we'll call it the shoplifter. In this scene, he's out eating lunch, and we see a shoplifter drop something right in front of him, and then he goes inside a photo booth to try to hide. But while he's doing that, the cop finds him and arrests him for shoplifting.
I remember this part. I was like, hey, you ain't gotta be no snitch now. Why you snitching? Like, you helping the cops?
He did.
But I get why. He's trying to be as how do you say the word? Inconspicuous. He's basically trying to be invisible. So I get it.
He gets up and screams, "Don't say nothing, get a lawyer." The cop calls him an asshole because he's just stuck in that mode. He wishes he could be Saul again, and that's what he's showing right here. The next clip we see, we can call the pass out. While he's working, he passes out and is taken to the hospital. But when we focus on the first picture that we see what appears to be a sun behind him. If you look at the band beneath it, it looks like that could be considered an horizon. So, is the sun rising or is the sun setting? The fact that they showed him pass right out, I think it's meant to say that the sun is setting, but not on Saul, on Gene. Next, we catch up on him in the hospital. The doctor tells him that all the test results look fine, so this most likely was brought on by stress and the stress of this lifestyle that he's having.
That's, like rewatching this and just chewing on it more. Man, it means more to me. Like, this was brought on by stress. And, when I first saw that scene, I thought the stress of being afraid of getting caught. But now I understand it's probably also the stress of not being able to be himself, the stress of suppressing your true self. And I'm sure you relate, like everybody can relate to that in some way or another, especially if you're part of some kind of marginalized group, like if you've had to remain in the closet your whole life or something like that, or if you have some kind of like invisible disease, like I have ADHD. It's invisible. Like you can't tell that there's certain things different about me just by looking at me, right? Like, yeah, that feeling of keeping yourself in, that is really stressful, actually. I think it's like very not good for you, having to be inauthentic all the time.
And then he gets checked out. Fake identity doesn't go through the first time, but it does the second, so he's safe. This leads us to the most interesting scene, the cab driver. We can see right off the bat that the guy does have Albuquerque inside of his car, so he is definitely from that area. As he picks him up, he can see him while he's in the back staring at him through the mirror, staring straight at him directly. And he feels it from this point right here that he has been made. But this guy recognized exactly who he was. The next scene, we'll call it the escape. We see him shredding all the documents that he could shred at this particular.
So that guy has the same air freshener as one of Kim Wexler's clients. I don't like, it's supposed to be the name of a band. It's like some band from Albuquerque. I don't know. I'm guessing that band is like really famous in town or something. But it shows that, they're in Nebraska, but this guy from Albuquerque is here. It's like showing, I don't know. I feel like we're going to be thinking about that again at some point. We're going to think about that again. This guy came from Albuquerque to Nebraska. I don't even know what to think. I don't know what to think of that cab driver yet. I'm like so anxious about that cab driver. I don't know.
All the time, trying to get rid of all the evidence. We see him pack his suitcase. We see he has a suitcase full of cash. And we see that he says one specific thing here, which to him seems to be the most important thing out of everything else that he's doing.
You're going to be November 12th at 3 p.m.
I'll be there, but if it doesn't ring at 3 on the dot, I'm gone.
Don't worry.
So since we
Actually, I don't know if I want to take the time. I kind of want to not edit this video, so I don't want to take the time to find this exact scene on Netflix. But he really, so immediately, once like I realized Kim and Jim like love each other, I felt that, okay, the person that Francesca is picking up the phone to speak to is gonna be Kim. It's gonna be somehow, it's like Kim from jail or whatever. Like they arrange that, maybe every year on Jimmy's birthday. It's on Jimmy's birthday, right? Every year they're gonna have a moment to speak or something. But I really feel like that person Francesca's picking up the phone for is Kim, because Jimmy is like, oh, they definitely will be there on time, which makes me feel like Kim has to be in I'm assuming it's Kim, and it's a safe place. It's someplace where like it's not gonna get tripped up and like, oh, I was kidnapped, I couldn't make it. It's going to be like a safe place where she can be on time. And she is a timely person. She's the kind of person who's like, she's on time. So, I don't know. This scene, I like think of this scene almost every episode of Better Call Saul.
We know that this date is his birthday, a big birthday for him, his 50th, I do believe, that we know that there's only one person that he's going to want to hear from at this time, and that is the love of his life, Kim, which means that Kim is still alive, that she does not die, she makes it out somehow.
I mean, that's what we think. I know there's people out there who don't think so, but I'm with this guy. I think it's Kim. I think Kim makes it out alive and healthy.
Whether she's in jail or whether she's on the lam is still to be determined. So she's going to play mediator, most likely on a 3-way call, because it's either going to be monitored most likely by the police or if they're hunted by somebody else. That's what it's going to be, and that's why she has to play this part. Now, after that, we see him call the number so he can be extracted, so he can get out safely, and that's how this scene ends. Now, we're going to break down everything inside the shoebox and what it all means in a moment. Next scene we'll call the diamonds. Where did he get these diamonds? How long has he had these diamonds?
Right.
I've seen a lot of people speculate what this is, and I'll tell you exactly what it truly is right now. We see him pouring these diamonds out of the Band-Aid tin. Where did we see the Band-Aid tin before? We've seen him have this inside of the shoebox. The shoebox is his bug out bag, for lack of a better term. When shit hits the fan, grab this box and you can start a new life. So what's inside of it? Number one is the Band-Aid tin. Now, we have seen this Band-Aid tin in these flash forwards, but we also have to remember this Band-Aid tin, we've seen it in flashbacks. This is where he used to store coins inside of it, but we see him pouring diamonds out of it now. We also seen him in that bag have a big bag lump sum of money. That lump sum of money most likely is too cumbersome to carry around. So what happened here is I don't believe he left with the diamonds, but he changed this money over into diamonds so that he can carry it around easier. So what else is in this shoebox? We see the VCR
I don't know about that. I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't know. I don't know.
tape, which has his TV commercials on it. We've seen the Band-Aid box, which we just discussed. We've seen a couple of passports. We've seen a postcard that says, delivering milk to the creamery. We also see photos developed at 157 Middle Street in Portland, Maine. Gift shop.
Y'all got amazing Zoom. You could see that. Okay, what's in Portland, Maine?
One of the passports could mean that he has money stashed overseas. This could be a backup plan if he has to skip the country. After this, we see him calling out of work and asking specifically, has anybody been looking for him? And this is to do 100% about the taxi cab driver that he thinks is onto him. Number 7 is the cab driver part 2, who just shows up at his job and confronts him and says, I know who you are, makes him go through.
And this cab driver guy, I'm like, you're so weird. Like, you're really weird. I don't know. The cab guy is so weird to me.
The motions of his commercial, and then tells him he's going to see him again. After this, he really thinks he's made, so he calls to try to get an extraction from
the cab guy probably just thinks it's funny because he probably just thinks it's funny that, oh, I found Saul Goodman. He's trying to live a new life, but I found him. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, I found something, I know something I'm not supposed to know kind of thing. But that's why I'm like, you're weird because like you're way too grown. You're like too old. You're too grown for that. Like the cab driver is the kind of guy, like you ever get stupid comments just randomly like, I'm the I don't know how I attract these people. I can leave somebody a comment like, "Oh my gosh, you're so pretty." And then there will be a troll that will respond to me like, "I guess you're blind." You know what I mean? Like, okay. I picture the cab driver. Like, whenever I see a troll, I picture that cab driver is probably an internet troll. I'm just being facetious. I mean, that's just the vibes I get, but who knows? Like, I'm just saying, I'm just playing.
The vacuum cleaner person, he tells him how much it's going to be, but then he says, no, I'll handle it myself. Now, the cab driver's name is Jeff, who at one point lived in Albuquerque with his ex-girlfriend. At this time is when he became a huge fan, he claims, often seeing his ads on the television set. If he is on the lam from the cops, which we believe he 100% is, then there's a good chance that he could have seen this on the television set that he's a wanted fugitive. It then showed Gene specifically look directly at the police officers right there. So that is why he goes along with his little charades, because he sees.
Did the police really wear those hats in Nebraska? Down here in Texas, the police don't wear those hats. They don't do that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you're like in the middle of nowhere, which I wouldn't know. I mean, this is Texas. There are still areas where you don't want to see the police when you're in the middle of nowhere if you look a certain complexion. But here in like the suburbs and urban areas, they don't wear those hats. Do they do that in Nebraska? If you're from Nebraska, please let me know.
The cops right there, so he has no choice but to play along. But the one thing I will say is, why did Jeff bring a friend with him? The fact that he brought a friend means.
Did he bring a friend? Like, was he like, hey yo, I found that lawyer dude, and they like came to the mall to see Jimmy? It's giving P.T. Barnum and Bailey Circus. It's giving freak show. Like, leave the man alone.
He has no intention of going to the police, that he wants to extort him for money. This whole scene reminds me of one scene that I've seen in one of the greatest shows that was ever on television, and that is Sopranos. When Tony brings his daughter Meadow to college, he just happens to run into a guy, Fabian, who's in police protection hiding because he ratted on the mafia. During this time, Fabian gets wind that Tony's there.
I have never seen The Sopranos. I don't know if it's like worth it to start watching it now. I don't know.
He gets nervous. He starts asking questions about him being asked about, if anyone's asking about him and stuff, until eventually Tony does catch up with him and strangle him to death. This would be the exact reverse of the situation. Okay. Because in that show, Tony was the star and the cab driver is not the star here. So it would be the same thing, but exactly reversed. It would be Saul or Gene, whatever you want to call him at this particular time, doing the hit instead of being hit like it was in The Sopranos. Remember, Saul was expected to get that phone call from Kim when he turned 50. 50 is the exact same age Walter White was when he started his life of crime.
Breaking Bad. Wait, don't tell me. Do you think they would do that? Do you think Better Call Saul ends on the cliffhanger of like Saul Goodman Breaking Bad and going on his own 4-year journey, messing with cartel and ruining like distribution chains and stuff? I don't know. I don't think so.
So,
after all that,
a happy ending.
The final scene we'll call the happy ending scene, which you can clearly hear from his voice is not a happy ending for himself.
Right. It sounds like sad. It sounds like not actually happy ending, but like an outcome, like just the best possible outcome for the situation type of thing.
In fact, you can hear him pause after he says, after all that, he sighs.
So, after all that?
You can also hear his voice crack when he says, after all of that. Basically saying, after all that I've been through, after everything that has happened. And the only words he has after that is
happy ending.
A happy ending.
The only way to fully determine exactly what's going on when he says this,
Kim has to be alive in order for that. Like, in order for him to even say that, Kim has to be alive.
this is what happens to Kim. Does she get bagged up or does she get away also? In my last video, I explained how Kim gets away. Please check that video out. Link will be in the description and it'll be at the end of these cards. Clearly, we can tell from the sound of his voice that this is not a happy ending. It's not going to end with him and Kim together skating off somewhere.
Yeah, it sounds like they're not going to be together. It sounds like a breakup, kind of. I don't know.
All of the flash forward scenes we've seen with him as Gene are in black and white. They show this scene in black and white. Why? Because he's never going to recapture that moment after he becomes Gene. He's never going to be able to go back to the time that he was in this place with his woman, and that is gone from him. That would have been his happy ending.
Right. Like, I think they're like, because in Breaking Bad, they'll do that. Like, they'll show a familiar place, but that doesn't mean the main character gets to be in that familiar place. You know what I mean? Like, they're showing that familiar place to make us feel sad that the main character doesn't get to be there. And I think that's why they're showing Kim's house.
Does not receive that. Always remember that things always have to come back full circle. He was known as a con man. That's how he started. Usually what happens to con men is that they get conned in the end.
So does Jimmy end up going to jail? Because that's another theory I've had. I feel like Jimmy is going to go to jail. I feel like he will finally go to jail. I don't think he's going to pass away because he is La Cucaracha. Okay? La Cucarachas they don't go in atomic. La Bomba is not going to get rid of La Cucaracha. But maybe he goes to jail. Maybe he finally pays for what he does. And I don't think, and also like Walter White at the end of this passes, right? But Walter White has done so much. Like, he has unalived so many people. He has been the direct cause of so many people's passing. Now, you can, I don't know, people are trying to twist it, trying to say, oh, well, Jimmy's the reason Chuck is gone. Chuck has mental health issues. Okay, we're not going to blame that on Jimmy. I'm not going to blame it on, I mean, look, I get it. I get Jimmy contributed to it. I get that Jimmy was the tipping point. He pushed it there. Okay. Okay, but I don't know. I just don't like I feel like there's a multitude of issues Chuck had. That is not Jimmy's fault at all. Like, for example, the reason his wife is like, you need to be single. I need to not be around you. That's Chuck's fault. Like, Jimmy, if anything, Jimmy was trying to help them bring their marriage back together. But anyways, and then people are saying, Howard being gone, it's because of Jimmy and Kimmy. But I mean, yeah, it never would have happened had they left Howard alone. But the main thing is, here's the main thing, because I also feel like, well, Howard, if you had just like the Sandpiper people were begging you, like over and over, there's this theme of, can we just have the money now because we're old? Can we just have the money now because we're old? And like, for whatever different reasons, lawyers are like, no, actually, and they try to word it in such a nice way. Like, come on, we got to get as much money as we possibly can. And we really have to make them pay for what they did to you. And the lawyers are just trying to get what they want, which is a bigger check, because even if they get the maximum amount from that settlement, that increase, the residents are not going to see much of an increase. Like, the residents get like a super tiny percent. So like an extra however many million, when you're only getting a tiny percent of it, it's not going to seem like that much. But when you're getting a large percent of it, it seems like a lot more. Like the lawyers are highly incentivized to convince these old people to wait to get their money. But I also feel like the old people are like, well, the amount that we can get right now is quite good. The amount that we can get right now can pay a couple bills, can pay for a vacation. Like, I'm trying to live it up before I'm gone. And I got, these people probably got like kidney disease and all that kind of stuff. You never know when it's your time. Shoot, even the main character of this show, he had a heart attack. He just got done playing nobody, like playing John Wick. Basically playing like the older version of John Wick. This man probably was in the best physical condition he's been in a while, and he had a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get old, you just trying to live your best life, and these lawyers were trying to. So my point is, Howard, you were being greedy. And you guys wouldn't be in the situation. You would not have been in that situation had you just given the residents what they wanted. So anyway, I feel like there's a lot of factors, but the moral of the story is Jimmy and Kimmy, y'all cannot just go around messing with people's lives and telling yourself it's okay because they can handle it. It's not that bad. That's the moral of the story is you think it's not that bad. You think they can handle it. But you're not God. You don't decide what happens, actually. You don't decide what repercussions are. You don't decide who can handle how much. That's not for you to decide. And so as punishment, you have to witness the full repercussions of your actions and how you contributed to it. That's what you get to witness. And you stay not learning from your mistake. You stay not learning from it because you keep doing it. You literally keep doing it. Like you continue. You didn't learn from your mistake. So at the end of this, he has to learn from his mistake. Now, I don't think the lesson will be his passing like Walter, because Walter was doing some evil stuff. I'm sorry. Like Walter was doing some maniacal stuff. I don't think Jimmy's actions warrants that, but going to jail would be great, I think.
Who would be the one to pull the wool over his eyes? Sometimes it's people who you don't think are as smart as you, so that would put the cab driver into play, but most likely that would be somebody that he cares the most about, and that would be Kim in my book. But you tell me.
But wouldn't that be fitting that he loses Kim? That would be that's a punishment. It's really weird to talk about other characters losing their lives as a punishment to the character who gets to live. It sounds weird to me. I haven't fully fleshed out these theories. I'm just talking out loud. That's the whole point of this channel. I just need to talk to somebody about this show. Like, I do not have any friends who watch this show. The only other person in my life who watches the show is my babe, and he is so like he likes some things like predictions and stuff like that, but as far as like character analysis and like the moral workings of the show and stuff like that, he's not really into that. Like, this channel is my outlet, because on my other channel, when I try to talk about this, all of my subscribers are like, we don't know what you're talking about. My subscribers are like, we've never seen this show before. And then when you try to Google search it, my video doesn't even pop up because all the rest of my videos are unrelated. So I'm like, okay, let me start from scratch. I know we have 2 subscribers right now. But I don't know. We'll see. Remember, at the 100 subscriber mark, we're doing a giveaway.
What you think in the comment section. How does it end for them? And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And
so I am definitely doing my part. I gave it a thumbs up. I am spreading it. I'm telling y'all, go check out Teflon TV, subscribe. But I wanted to react to that because I'm like, damn, it's actually been a really long time since we have seen Gene or thought about Gene. And like, what's our perspective now that we know, now that we've seen a lot of the things that we're seeing and how we're just going? What do we think of Gene? I think Jimmy is going to release himself. I think Better Call Saul, I think Saul Goodman is going to come out of Gene. And I think he's going to be like, I'm ready for these repercussions because I gotta, like, life is not worth living. I don't know. Life is not worth living. The only thing I want to know is, can he just wait until after his 50th birthday? Because I really want to see who he talks to. And if it's Kim, I really would love to see them reunited in some way. I really hope so. Okay, so that is all for today. You know what? I'm thinking I'm not going to edit this video. Yeah, no. I'm not going to edit this video. I think what we should do is, as we feel strucken in the moment, when we feel the burst of creativity, then we'll just hop on here and upload, so we can keep building our fun house, keep building our tribe, or our people who love to think with us about our favorite shows. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Again, if you liked anything that you saw or heard, make sure you thumbs up the video so more people can see and hear it. Subscribe. And when you subscribe, you ring that notification bell so you will always be alerted when I post about Better Call Saul again. I appreciate you so much. I can't wait to see you again. Bye. Bye.